Hello, welcome to the Citrus Garden. If you're new here, my name is Christina. If you're not new here, hi, welcome back. It's great to see you. This is a reading for Cancer, Sun, Moon, or Rising, or if you have any other significant Cancer placements, there may be a message in here for you. So Cancer, as I was preparing to do your reading today, I wasn't planning on it to do a reading, but there was a message coming through, so here we are. I was getting this message about a Knight of Wands energy. And it started off like coming in with like how sometimes the Knight of Wands in tarot gets a bit of a bad rap. It can. Where like the Knight of Wands is described as being someone who's sort of flighty. They're very hot and cold, or they're unreliable, or they're like only here for a short time but not a long time, like that. It's that kind of energy. Like that's sort of the negative perception of the Knight of Wands. And I feel like there may even be a little bit of resistance from you, Cancer, about a Knight of Wands type energy, where it's like, or perhaps even like a personality type or something like that, or like an experience in the past, or like whatever it is, like there could be some discomfort about like this sort of like fiery energy for you in some way. And it was coming through as being like, but what's coming in for you, Cancer, is a Knight of Wands who is like, so it could be a person, but it doesn't have to be an individual. It could be like an opportunity. And the word that was coming through is just fun and playfulness, and lightheartedness. Like it's coming through as being almost like I was seeing like a hummingbird, like that kind of energy, like very fast moving, very playful, very fun, like searching for nectar, that kind of thing. And I feel like the like it feels very, for lack of a better word, divine, like perhaps like divine intervention or something like that, where it's like this Knight of Wands is being sent in your direction as someone, like it, for some of you it does feel like a person, but it doesn't have to be, right? Like someone or something that is coming into your life in order to uplift you, especially if you have been in a situation where I feel like for Cancer, of course, like there's been a lot of emotional burden that you've been carrying or holding on to, and it feels like alone is what was coming through, that you have been holding on to or carrying some sort of emotional burden by yourself. And so this energy is actually coming in as being like a support to you. So they're uplifting you, but also I feel like they're also coming in as like coming in to like help you with whatever you have been holding on to, like shouldering is what's coming through by yourself. So even though that, like, I feel like their energy feels kind of like a Knight of Wands to you, like very fast moving, very exciting in some way, or like I don't know, their energy feels very fast moving, but at the same time it's almost like that's what they are before they get to you, and then as soon as they get to you, it's almost like they slow down and they become a Knight of Pentacles, which is kind of like this very positive mix of like fast moving, excitable, fun, playful energy, but then that's like immediately grounded into something practical and reliable, because I feel like that might be part of like why there might be a bit of resistance for you, Cancer, where maybe in the past you've had experiences with people or situations that were like very like maybe were very attractive or fun, or like had that sort of magnetic, like pulls you in really quickly, but then it doesn't go anywhere, or it's not grounded, or it's not reliable, or it's like that kind of thing. So I feel like this is coming in as being like a reassurance for you that it's both fun and reliable. Like, I feel like that's what's wanting to come in for you. There was something else with that as well. Oh, for some of you, maybe not all, but for some of you, this also feels kind of like a past life energy. So if it's not somebody or something that's like you already know, or like if you do know it, it's like you don't know it very well. Like, I feel like this is coming through as being like, so maybe you already know this energy, like, or know what it's about. It's like, but maybe you don't know it very well. Or know this person. If it's a person, you don't know them very well, or like you don't have the details yet on it. Maybe you just have like a surface level kind of interaction with whatever this is. And it's coming through as being like a past life energy. That there is something very familiar about this, either opportunity, person, gift, whatever it is. Like, it feels soulmatey is what wants to come through, like a soulmate, or it's a match to your soul from a past life. Feels like very interesting, Cancer. Okay, yeah. The mystical sister. Yep, that's what this is. So it does feel like a person. It doesn't have to be romantic as well, like this, or feminine. Like, it doesn't have to be a woman necessarily, but it could be a friend. It feels very strongly like a friend, or like a new friend or something like that. And with the moth, right? The moth to the flame. Like, it is feeling very much like there's like a magnetic sort of attraction between the two of you in whatever way that is, right? It can be friendship. But this is a relationship, an ally that is based on like unconditional support and love. Let's see. The mystical sister. Yeah, sacred ally, anima, and outreach. This card indicates a dear friend or sacred ally holds you in their heart at this very moment. With their support, you are able to do what you cannot do yourself. Between you exists an alchemical pact based on the ingredients of respect, honesty, and unconditional love. It's as if you've known each other for many lifetimes. You may have shared an experience from which you are always bonded. This archetype may come in any gender, age, or form. One distinct characteristic of the mystical sisters that they practice the art of witnessing and listening. They have no need to judge, fix, or give advice. Presence is enough. When this card appears, tend to the flame of friendship. Be a mystical sister to another. Yeah. That is really coming through strongly. And they're wanting to be described as a Knight of Wands. I feel like there is something very fiery about their energy, or the dynamic between the two of you. Like, fire might be a shared resource is what I just heard. So maybe there's some sort of shared fire between the two of you. It could be like shared passion, shared creative process, like something that is the same between the two of you that has to do with fire. Can I get another card for it could be Sagittarius, but it doesn't have to be. Okay, sorry. Cancer. Okay, this card was at the bottom of the deck. It wants to come out. Oil of Vitriol. And the Great Work. Okay. The Oil of Vitriol is a card about purification. You have Spring at the bottom of the deck. It's a card about purification, but it also has to do with like situations that where people lash out, or there's like acidity or resentments, or like sort of like stuff that's like brewing under the surface that needs to get out. There's something like that maybe you've been dealing with a situation like that, Cancer. Something about maybe there has been some sort of situation where you've been dealing with something like that, where, or it does kind of feel like it has something to do with emotional burden that you've been carrying or that you've been shouldering, or like it's feeling kind of like 10 of Swords, 10 of Wands. Whatever that is for you, a situation that just feels really tough, perhaps because you've felt alone in it. But you have an ally now is what's coming through. And I feel like it is lightening some sort of load. The great work also talks about... The great work talks about like attention to detail, like showing up every day, tending to the garden, that kind of thing. Like whatever it is, doing something day by day, little by little. That's the Knight of Pentacles energy, right? So it's feeling very much like, because like what I'm getting with the two knights, like the Knight of Wands, Knight of Pentacles, it could be that like one, but it doesn't feel like that, but I'm going to say it anyways. Like one is the Knight of Wands, one is the Knight of Pentacles. It doesn't necessarily feel like that, but maybe that resonates with someone. Or like if you look at the Chariot card in the tarot deck, which is your card, Cancer, you have the two like sphinxes or the two horses or whatever, depending on the deck. One is white, one is black. And it feels and like you need both, right? And what it's coming through with is being like you need fire and earth. Like I feel like that's what's coming through as being the two main elements that you're working with. Like groundedness and movement together. Is what's coming through with that. But with the spring at the bottom of the deck, I feel like it is something that's going to be like something's lightening up or something's getting easier to do. Things are starting to flow better or something like that. But I feel like it's in like whatever is coming in for you, it strongly feels like a relationship. In whatever form that is here to support you to do like, so it could be something where it's like you have the same work, whatever that is for you, however that resonates for you. If it's not literally that you work together, it's like you have the same passions or you have the same values or something like that. It's shared. It does feel like there's a shared fire between the two of you. But up until this point, Cancer, it feels like you've been doing it alone. Justice. Your first card out is Justice. Sometimes I get with that, like, and then the World. Justice in the World. That's a very strong start. A very strong start to something. That feels like a message for you. Like, so it could be something to do with, like, a relationship. Like, this relationship starts off very strong in the best way possible. But sometimes I get with this Justice card, like, a holding steady kind of energy, especially because it's coming out with, like, this feels very significant. Like, a place of peace, holding steady, but it's also a completion, like a culmination of something. There could also be some sort of like karmic balance that's happening in your favor, like, because especially with the oil of vitriol card, like, this is a tough energy, especially if it's in regards to like acidity, resentment, anger, bitterness, tough energies in whatever situation that is. And I feel like it's sort of like, but you're coming out like very strong here, Cancer, because I feel like whatever that is for you, like this is almost like coming through as like a reward or like a pick me up or like some sort of like gift from the universe to be like, well done, you've done what you needed to do, you completed the lessons that you needed to complete. Like this is the gift, the reward, the thing that, I don't know, whatever it is. Not that you were doing it for a reward, right? But what's coming through is being like, I feel like this is coming through as being like the return of something. And it feels like energy or emotional energy or something like that to fill up your cup again. Okay, 2 swords. So far, all these cards have had their eyes closed, right? Like Justice has the blindfold, the World has their eyes closed, and then 2 swords. This 2 of swords, it came out in the last reading for Aquarius. But it doesn't necessarily talk about the 2 swords in the traditional sense where it's like you're stuck between 2 decisions or 2 options or you're trying to decide between 2 things. This one actually talks about like you actually know what you need to do, but you're just taking a moment to pause. So that's what's coming through with this. Or you're like strongly leaning in one direction. Because I feel like there's something here, but like I feel like you're not quite seeing something yet, especially with the eyes closed. It's kind of like, maybe you're flying in the dark a little. Or what's coming through with this is that maybe there has been a period of time, Cancer, where you've had to like close your eyes to something, and it's coming through as being sort of like putting blinders on, like having to like really focus on what it is that you're working on, to be really focused, because there's been a lot of either distract or like whatever this is, right? Like the oil of vitriol, where it's like because of a tough situation, it's like, but that you have to get through, you've had to perhaps like close off some part of your vision, maybe like what you're seeing or whatever. It's almost like having to like shut down an aspect of yourself in order to get through a tough period. That's how it's feeling. So it's kind of feeling like that. Like you've had to, like, some aspect of yourself, in order to protect yourself, has had to go into a period of like shutting it down temporarily so that you can get through something that's been difficult. And it feels like, for me, like how I'm seeing this is that part of you is still temporarily shut down, like it, but I feel like it's going to be awakening soon. That's what's coming through here, whatever this is for you, like an aspect of your, I don't know what this is. It's like, as the most simple example, right? It's like, let's say you're studying for a really big test. You have to stop, like you have to like really focus on something, so you don't go out as much, you don't have fun, you don't meet with your friends or whatever, like that. Like a very simple example would be that, in order to study for the test. So that kind of feels like what this energy is showing me, that you, for a period of time, in order to get through something difficult where you need a lot of focus, you need your energy, you need to hold steady, you've had to shut down some other aspect of your life. And I feel like that's what's changing. But the Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands. There may be anxiety about that. You have 10 of... Sorry, not Wands. Swords. 9 of Swords. And you have 10 of Swords at the bottom of the deck. So many swords. There may be anxiety about that. Queen of Cups in reverse. Okay. I'm going to put that upright though. 7 of Pentacles. I'm getting some resistance here, Cancer. I feel like there's the Queen of Cups, because that's Cancerian energy, right? Queen of Cups. Where because the Nine of Swords is looking to me like trying to keep focused, there may be anxiety, but it's almost like I don't want to see this kind of energy. Like, I don't want to hear this. I don't want to see this. I'm not going to focus on it. I'm not going to think about it. I'm not going to put any attention to whatever this is, right? Like, in order to protect yourself from, like, so that you could get through a difficult period. That's what I'm seeing with the Nine of Swords today. And with the Queen of Cups coming out in reverse, I feel like that's actually caused a lot of almost like restricted your flow in whatever way, like creative flow, whatever that is, like, because what I'm seeing here, so there could be anxiety, but what I'm seeing here is that, like, you have the 2 swords going in that direction, right? And then all of these swords, all of these 9 swords are going in that direction. Maybe there's a Queen of Cups, or it's just like there's an aspect of yourself here with the Queen of Cups that is coming through as being like the part of yourself that you've had to temporarily shut down or shut off so that you can get through a difficult period. And I feel like it's coming through really strongly. Like, I don't want to see this. I'm not going to focus on this. I'm not going to think about it, even though your thoughts naturally want to go there. That's how it's coming through. Maybe there's a okay, what's this Queen of Cups? Page of Swords, yeah. Okay. There's something here with the Queen of Cups. What is the Queen of Cups? 4 of Swords. Look at all these swords energy. This might be a person, but it doesn't feel like that, the mystical sister energy. This feels like the oil of vitriol. Like a situation, because especially if it came out in reverse. Like a Queen of Cups in reverse is one that is not the greatest energy. Especially because it's coming out with Page of Swords and 4 of Swords. I feel like maybe the Queen of Cups is representing the situation that you either was causing you anxiety. This could be someone from the past. This could be, I don't know, whatever this is for you. It feels like this is the situation that has been causing you anxiety, or has been a tough situation that you've had to sort of like shut down emotionally, maybe. Like, it could be that it's been affecting you emotionally, because that's why you have all these swords. I feel like there's been a situation that's been, like, emotionally very burdensome to you. And it's got you in the swords, and the mental space is how that's coming through. And I feel like that situation is coming to an end, or that you're ready to face it is what is, because this, especially with the Page of Swords, like looking towards the Queen of Cups now. And the Four of Swords with this like sort of resting, integrating energy. And the Seven of Pentacles feels like preparing for something. Is this a positive Queen of Cups? Yes. Okay. Emperor, Two of Wands, the Star, and Temperance. Look at all this water flowing. Okay. Interesting. That's very interesting. Okay. What this Queen of Cups, so it could be an aspect of self. This could be another person. It feels, or whatever the situation is, where I feel like you have intentionally closed your eyes to it, or momentarily, temporarily blocked yourself off from thinking about the Queen of Cups, looking at the Queen of Cups, focusing any sort of attention on the Queen of Cups, because it's like, for whatever reason you had other things to get done. Like it's all swords related, like mentally working through something or whatever it is. And I feel like there has been a part of you that you have almost like put a blindfold on. It's like, I can't look at this now. I can't focus any energy on this right now. But I feel like that's what's changing. That's what's coming through here. It is really positive because you have all this water flowing again. Temperance, which is that Sagittarius energy. The Star, Two of Wands, making plans, and then the Emperor. It feels very, very positive. Like, it's kind of like this feeling of like, okay, now I can focus on this. Now I can go towards the thing that really makes me happy, or whatever it is. Because I feel like there was a period of time where you couldn't do that, or you were by requirement of the situation, you couldn't put any attention to the Queen of Cups, whatever that is for you. It'll be different from each of you, but it feels like it could be an aspect of self, because it's the Cancerian energy. It could be something that you love. It could be another person that you love. But there's emotional, or it could even be like a hobby, right? Or like something fun, something playful, something that you love to do, or you love to spend time on, or something like that. Because all of this flow energy is coming through here with Temperance and the Star. Like, I do feel very strongly that it's something to do with creative energy that's flowing. You have King of Wands at the bottom of the deck. Can I get one more card? Is this the Mystical Sister? No, I don't think so. Ten of Swords and King of Pentacles. Nine of Cups. And then you have Two of Cups at the bottom of the deck. I feel very strongly like there is some sort of relationship coming in. Whatever that is for you, it feels, and it could be friendship, it could be work related, it could be romantic for some of you, but it doesn't have to be. Just take it how it resonates. It could be a family member that you haven't been in contact with for a long time, whatever that is for you. But I feel like there were like very like I feel like there were practical things that needed to get done. That's what's coming through here. Perhaps on both ends. Why is the Ten of Swords here? Sometimes, like, especially because we have, like, the progression of the elements in numerical order, right? So, Nine of Swords to Ten of Swords is telling me that there's a completion of that cycle. Of some sort of cycle of anxiety is how it's coming through. And it's coming through with the King of Pentacles. And the Nine of Cups. It could have something to do, like maybe there's anxiety about your material resources, financial status, or whatever, that kind of energy. Maybe there's anxiety about that, but I feel with the Nine of Cups is sort of coming through as being a reassurance that it's like you've gotten to a place where you feel happy or satisfied with that, or like there's a wish fulfillment there on some level. Okay, Cobra and the Black Egg. Okay, Cancer. There's two energies here, of course. I don't know which one you are, because this feels like the Knight of Wands, right? Like, it feels like there's an energy here that is suddenly, like, at your doorstep. That's how it's coming through, like, very fiery at your doorstep. This Cobra card from this deck talks about, like, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. It is also an inner teacher kind of energy, and with the Black Egg, this card is the throat chakra, and it talks about truth. But I always see this card as a magnet. Like, what is true is attracted to it. What's the same is attracted to it. Anything that's not true is not. So it's kind of like there's truth in this dynamic because the Cobra is attracted to the Black Egg. Right? It's like it's drawing it in like a magnet. There's like a lot of I want to say magnetism, but like one or the other, like either you or the other has been ignoring it. It's just how it's kind of like putting, like, I don't want to see this. I don't want to look at it. I don't want to like think about it or put any attention on it. Like, that's how it's coming through. But I feel like that is what's changing. Because it's like full attention here with the Cobra. The Bee. So it could be work related, but this is not necessarily like, if it's not like your literal work, it feels like the great work, right? Here with the bee. Like the bee going to the flower. It's a match to you, but the bee is also a very cooperative energy. And you have the spider at the bottom of the deck, more of that sort of like work kind of energy, like purpose. Whatever dynamic this is, I do feel like you and this other will be working together on something. In whatever way that is, it doesn't literally have to be work, but there is some sort of like shared goal or purpose between the two of you. That is very similar, I want to say, but also very different. Because I feel like you will be learning from the other as well. Like, because I'm seeing this as being almost like the two of you, the Star and Temperance, so similar, but very different as well. Like, especially in the way that you do your work. The way in which you do your work is very different, I want to say. But that's why it works, right? Like, especially with the bee, Because it's, you know how bees communicate and like share information about where the best flowers are, right? Like that kind of thing. That's what I'm getting in this dynamic. Like you and this other person communicate and share. So maybe there's resources, but it doesn't have to necessarily be that physical. It could be like you share information, you share ideas, you share just like emotional happiness and satisfaction, or there's like a lot of it. Like I was seeing hummingbird energy. It didn't come out today, but I do feel like it has something to do with that. But you have so many swords. Ideas feel like it's like really highlighted for you in this dynamic, but in a creative flow kind of way. Interesting. The club. Someone will try to make you do something against your will. That feels like the oil of vitriol. Again, it does feel very strongly like, and you have the mule. Someone is extremely stubborn and unwilling to change. I feel like this is in regards to a particular situation in your life. Like, whatever that is, the oil of vitriol is coming through as being a situation that's been very, very tough on you. The club and the mule. Oppressive is what's coming through with that. Oppressive and stubborn. But it's like you and this other person are like this like free flowing like energy, right? It's like flow being returned to something. The kite, vacation. And it's a fish. Yeah. Strong emotion, passionate love or hate. Whenever this card comes out, it usually is both. Like there's one situation that's very passionate love, and then there's another situation that's passionate hate. Because it depends on who you're dealing with. And that's what this card is coming through with. Like, I feel like there's something about this situation where it feels like there's a lot of fire, and sometimes that's good fire, and sometimes it's bad fire, but you have an ally that is absolutely good fire. That's what it's coming through with. And flow, because all of this is watery. Like temperance is wire and water. Temperance is water and fire together. The star is water and air. Yeah, you have obstacles to overcome. And then wreath, sorrow over a loss. Yeah, ant, work, achievement, and success. And the torch, spiritual development, enlightenment, awareness, and understanding. Okay, this feels like a situation where it's like you do have obstacles to overcome, Cancer, but for a long time it feels like you've been doing it by yourself, or that's at least like how you felt about it. And I feel like there is someone coming in to help relieve some of that burden from you. Doesn't mean it's not going to be hard, but I do feel like that it's going to get easier. And it has something to do with your work. And there's some spiritual enlightenment coming in, or awareness or understanding. Especially with this, right? The mystical sister, the torch. I feel like that happens within this dynamic. Like you and this other person who is a mystical sister to you, right? An ally, a friend. Within that dynamic, I feel like there's like spiritual energy that is exchanged, that enlightens, that develops. But at the same time, I feel like there's also situations that may cause anxiety, or that there may be difficulties, or that there may be sort of like a rigidness. Perhaps something oppressive in whatever way that is, that is what you're working on together. It's gonna get easier though, and you will be shown the way with the candle. Okay. Yeah, you have great personal sorrow, teardrops at the bottom of the deck, lily, spiritual love, and cracked cup, dissatisfaction with life. Yeah, definitely feels like spiritual love for you to come in to help, like I don't know, maybe it has something to do with personal sorrow or pain or anxiety, right? With the 9 and the 10 of swords, a lot of swords. You will be shown the way though, Cancer. I don't think it's anything that you need to worry about. That's part of like what I feel like is the dominant energy, is like I feel like there's a lot of worry about something. And I feel like there's someone coming in to help relieve some of that worry. Yeah, responsibility. The right scapula. Responsibility. I do feel like you are carrying, there is this energy of shouldering, is what I said. Like this, of course, is the right shoulder, right? The right shoulder blade. You've been carrying a lot of responsibility. And this card talks about like being able to okay, so there's a very different frequency of energy between feeling able to respond and responsibility, between feeling responsible and taking responsibility. When this nuance is mirrored to you through the lens of your burdens, there's only enough space to react. When it's mirrored to you through an understanding of your blessings, you have plenty of space for response. How you heal and nurture this early pattern created by your inner child makes all the difference in how you show up as the responsible adult. When you caretake the needs of your inner child, you release the weight of responsibility and create capacity and responsibility. Okay, so I feel like maybe there's been a situation that's been like just so tough that you've only been able to respond to it, like you like react in a way that feels like burdensome, or like you have no choice, or that kind of thing. But I feel like what's wanting to change or shift here is your ability to respond with like your blessings and with gratitude and happiness and joy and all of that. And I feel like there's been a situation or a pattern, maybe Cancer, where your ability to respond has been affected by anxiety or worry or hardship or like difficulty. And I feel like that's changing so that your ability to respond becomes this healed, open, free-flowing, like graceful, right? Like there's more grace, there's more space, there's more openness, there's more flexibility. Because something about this situation is changing. Okay. I'm going to leave it there. If this reading resonated with you, please like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. I would love to hear from you. Thank you so much for sharing your energy with me, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.